Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. What's going on? Mark here with the Better Mark. Let's get into the July 31st Major League Baseball plays that we have. I'm going to have 5 best bets, a little bonus play within the same game. But also, I do want to tell you guys, this is the last day in July. So playoff baseball is right around the corner. We have the NFL. I mean, I can't believe we're saying this. There will be the Hall of Fame game on tomorrow, Thursday. Looking forward to that. Not going to have any bets in that contest as well. I did get some news that Chicago is going to be resting all their guys, but it's coming. Super excited for football season. That's kind of the bread and butter. I'm going to be doing a lot of new things here, so get ready to turn on notification bell and get ready for the NFL content to start ramping up. I'm going to make that a little bit exclusive to my channel members very shortly. We're going to do that this week. Actually, today in the office, we will have the first NFL video. I'll be releasing an exclusive video just for all the channel members, and then I think we're going to go live with that content a little closer to the season. So if you guys want to get a sneak peek, early access, make sure you all become a channel member down below, all right? And then also, I do want to take the time to tell you guys, make sure you all subscribe to the channel. We have some goals here. This is where we look into football season. Haven't had a full football season, but looking to get to 10,000 subscribers through football. I think that's very much reasonable. So that's just kind of a goal I have. But I want to thank you guys for rocking with me thus far. It's been a fun ride just in these few short months. Okay. Also, hop on over to the Discord. That's where things go down on the daily. And I will give you guys, like I said, 5 best bets that I have. One actually will be one of the I think it's one of my favorite bets that I've made in a long time. Kind of got to be honest with you guys. I've been getting a little bit crushed within baseball. 2 and 3s and, just losing one game every night. I think the other day we went 1-3-1. It's just kind of been one where we need to flip that and get back on the train where the 1 week we were profitable every single day with some margin wins with the 3-1s and 4-1s, so on and so forth. So we're going to be attacking this kind of a little different, a little bit more, I guess I would say, not risky, but aggressive would be a good term. So that's kind of how I'm going to be going about this. I think this is one where on this midweek game, we might catch some people sleeping. So we're going to be riding some pitchers pretty strongly. But I do see a lot of potential within these best bets. There's a lot of games going on, so I'm sure you guys have some plays yourself. Feel free to let me know down below in the comments, and let's get down into it, okay? And this is where we're going to dive into the odds jam, all right, where we look into the first game on the card that we will have a play. And now this is a early start. 12:10 first pitch here on the East Coast. Miami going against the Tampa Bay Rays. This is where we have a interesting pitching matchup, but one where I think we're going to be attacking it in a different form than just betting the Rays. I think the Rays at that price is unbettable. Look at Taj Bradley's splits, though, over his last few starts. The month of July, it's been absolutely fantastic. I'm not a big Roderick Munez guy. Every time I bet him against him, though, he ends up throwing a gem. So we're going to kind of hit him up in that regard, but we're going to do it without him knowing. So let's take the Tampa Bay Marlins game under 4.5 for the first 5. That will be my first official play. So let's kind of sneak this one through. I think Taj Bradley shuts down the Marlins, goes at least 5 innings, and then we do get a little bit of an effort from Roderick Munez, and maybe the Rays bat sleep a little bit, and look for that first 5 to go down at worst. By a score of 2-1. I think that's where I see it. That's kind of where I'm at within that, maybe 3-0 through 5 innings. That's what I'm hoping for. But within an overall total at 7.5, I think this is a very strong play that we're making in this first 5. Okay. Next game out there, Toronto and Baltimore. Grayson Rodriguez taking on Paulo Espino. This is where Grayson Rodriguez has been fantastic as of recent. We see what Baltimore has done, bringing in Eloy Jimenez. They're gearing up for the postseason. We got a 7-1 futures ticket on the O's. Very excited about some of the futures coming home. Liked a lot of things that we saw within the trade deadline. I'll maybe touch upon that a little bit later on, but shocked by some moves, but other moves, I thought it was pretty much, in a year where it's pretty much wide open. I think there's about 8 to 10 teams that could win the World Series, and I think that taking teams with value. There's a couple futures bets out there that I truly like, maybe a little bit down the odds board as well. So if you guys want to know more about that, message me on Discord. Maybe I'll start a little thread for some MLB futures. But this is a Orioles bet or nothing. I think the Jays shocked at what they did without moving some of their bigger players. That didn't go down, but I do look for the Rays to kind of put the nail in the coffin here and win by margin. 1.5 is at almost even money. We were on the run line yesterday, cashed that bet. So look to go back to the well. It would be Orioles on the run line or nothing, but I'm not going to play this one. All right. And then we go into the Mets and Twins, right? Luis Severino going against Pablo Lopez. For me, this is a no play. The Mets have been arguably the best team in baseball. As of recent, I think this is truly one of those games where anything can happen. I think the Mets have won the first 2 games on this in this matchup for this kind of interleague series, and that's where I think that Minnesota's a little bit vulnerable, and I just don't like Severino in this spot. I know he's had a great year, great bounce back year for him, but this is something where it's very hard to sweep a team, and despite the Twins kind of reeling, I think that they might get it done against Severino. So if I was going to bet this game, I would probably lean on the total over 8. That's just kind of where I'm at. I don't like a side one bit whatsoever because my head's telling me the Mets and my heart's telling me the Twins in terms of just how that feels. So never good to go against yourself in those situations. Braves and Brewers. This is where we're going to defer to some of the numbers, okay? That is the next game on the card. You can see, quite frankly, what we have going on is Chris Sale is having a Cy Young caliber year. Freddie Peralta started off as such, but since regressing to a 3.94 ERA, 6-6 on the season. But in this matchup, I look for Sale to dominate. I'm quite frankly, I don't understand this number. Let me know if you guys have a different number on your end, but I'm getting minus 106 for the Braves. So we have a fish alert. This is a smelly play. So we're going to kind of go at it a little bit aggressively. Hopefully we come out on the other side. But I just don't like the way the Brewers are hitting the ball offensively. I don't trust Peralta going against a strong lineup. And I'm not going to be putting any of my hard-earned money against Chris Sale. So I think this is a little bit of fool's gold. Somebody knows something, though. We have the over set at 7.5. I don't want to get in that market, but in this matchup, I think it's very important to understand that I am going to be playing the Atlanta Braves on the run line, and that is obviously minus 1.5 at a plus 160 price. Okay, so like I said, we're going to hit some run lines up in these best bets. Going at some plus money winners. It's something where a lot of you guys might say, "Oh, that's too risky, not for me." You guys are welcome to do what you want, but I wanted to kind of rebound in a way where I'm not chasing, but I'm going after some big numbers that I found was worth taking some shots at. So I do like the Braves in this spot. I know it's a low total, but I think that they get this job done in a 5-1 kind of fashion. I think it's going to be kind of a margin game, a low scoring for Brewers. So a lot of you guys are probably saying, well, why don't you just take the Brewers under their team total? Very much thought about that, but I do think there is a chance also that we do get, a weird extra inning outcome, maybe like say on the lines of 2-2, something like that. So we will be taking the Atlanta run line. I don't want to leave it up to a road team and extras or so on and so forth. So I just kind of feel like the Braves on the run line is the best bet in this matchup. Fade against Peralta. Okay, and then we will hit into the Kansas City White Sox game. This is where the White Sox can't get out of their way. Now losing Jimenez, Brady Singer going against Drew Thorpe. We saw them basically win again in yesterday's matchup with another comeback, 8th inning Bobby Witt magic show. So Kansas City again, can they pull it off? Minus 187. Not willing to lay that. And also, I think that the minus 1.5 at minus 115 is a very good number. But we're going to stay away from this game as well. So no official play for me in this matchup. All right. I just think that, despite the White Sox and their struggles, 27-83 on the season, will lightning strike 3 times in a row? Possibly, but this could be a lay-down spot for the White Sox as well. So would not shock me if they won the game or if the Royals won 9-0. So I'm just staying away from it. I don't like kind of having that back-to-back magic go on. So I'm going to stay away from this one. All right. Rangers, Cardinals, Andrew Heaney, and Michael McGreevy. This is a no play for me as well. I don't like playing the Rangers on the road, and right now the Cardinals are in kind of limbo. Very hard to handicap these 500 ball clubs. You really have to dive in. Need some more data on them as we get out of the All-Star break. So staying away from the Cardinals-Rangers game. All right, and then we will hit an official play within the Arizona Diamondbacks and Washington Nationals game. Zach Gallen's been fantastic. Mackenzie Gore, not so much. Washington, I think, is a shell of themselves. I think we saw the Diamondbacks put up 9 in the second 7 runs to bring their total to 9 runs in the second inning yesterday. We're going to ride that wave, okay? We're going to ride that wave. We got an ace going, and I think it's something, too, where sometimes, you might see the hitters take their foot off the gas pedal, but I think this Braves team the Diamondbacks team is really trying to find their groove, returning to form post making the World Series final. I look for the Diamondbacks to win this one kind of handedly, and I think that's where I really like them in this spot, despite Mackenzie Gore pitching. But we're going to attack it in a weird way. We're going to go half unit, alternate run line, -2.5. Look for another Diamondbacks blowout. Too hard to pass up that plus 190, especially after yesterday, how depleted they may be, so on and so forth. Bullpens are rested. So let's go get that at a plus 190 price. Only a half unit play. Kind of a long shot bet here. We'll see if we can cash almost a 2-to-1 in a single bet. So that will be an official play. All right, and then the next game we're going to play as well. This will be the likes of the first George Kirby and Brian Bayo, Mariners, Red Sox. Not sure on how this number is at 9.5, so another fish alert, but we are going to take the under 9.5, and also do not mind the first half under 5 within a -120 price if you want to get involved with that. George Kirby has been absolutely fantastic. I know his road versus home splits are completely different, but Red Sox are kind of in a weird spot hitting the baseball. I don't really like them, and I can't rely on them, so just too big of a number. If this was 8.5, I'd probably stay away, but you give me 9.5 at a -110 price. This is purely a value play. Fading the Red Sox and, quite frankly, fading the Mariners, where they're liable to lay down on any given night as well. So under 9.5, Kirby and Red Sox. Kirby and the Mariners taking on Bayo and the Red Sox. We're going to be under that 9.5 number. Okay. Cubs, Reds, Nick Lodolo going against Kyle Hendricks. What in the world went on with Justin Steele's outing, going against a staffed Reds lineup? That was one that truly shocked me. It is kind of funny. I don't try to bet against teams that are staffing, but for some weird, for lack of better words, it just seems to be whenever you take the teams going against the staffed rotation, it seems like they always win more times than not. So kind of where I was at, that one I'll tip my cap. They beat the Cubs ace. The Cubs barely even hit the board. I think they scored a little bit later on in that game. But Hendricks, Nick Lodolo, I would actually favor the under. I think this 9.5 is a little weird as well. It's juiced up to the over 9, which I think is kind of crazy. I don't trust the Cubs to put up any runs, and quite frankly, neither do I with the Reds for the most part. And Nick Lodolo has been pretty good, 8-3, 3.45 on the season. -140 for the Reds is also juicy as well. So that's kind of where I would lean in this game. Also, nrfi candidate within that matchup. All right, and then let's hit up the Pirates Astros. I've stayed away from this series pretty much in its entirety, unless we're going to bet totals. Framber Valdez going against Jake Woodford. I mean, it's Astros or nothing, but at $2.05, that is just way out of hand, out of reach. So no play for me in this contest unless you're going to go Astros run line, or you're going to get involved with taking the over or the under, which I don't really have an edge or indication on. So staying away. All right. Rockies, Angels, Kyle Freeland, and Davis Daniel. Okay. This is one bet where I don't understand why it's at 8.5. This is a pure bet on the over. If I was going to tell you guys what to do, that would be a automatic lock for me, but I'm not going to bet it because I don't need to bet the Rockies Angels on a given night. So that's kind of where I feel about this, or how I feel about this. So staying away from this game altogether. All right. And then before we hit the last game and the last official play that I'm going to give you, the Athletics Giants, Logan Webb hosting Ross Stripling. I don't know if you guys have been living under a rock, but we called this a couple weeks ago. Oakland has just been on absolute fire. They have one of the hottest hitters in baseball. I think right now he is the hottest hitter in baseball, quite frankly. You cannot deny kind of those numbers. I would love to pull them up for you guys, but I think I'm going to save the time and not do that. But in this matchup, I think that the Giants, losing 5-1 or 5-2 yesterday, it's unfortunate, but Logan Webb, he can get the job done. I'm just not in the business of betting against the Oakland Athletics. So if you do want to get involved with the system, I'll tell you, just take the A's money line every single day. I mean, winning 4 out of their last 5, I think 8 out of their last 10 or 7 out of their last 10. One of the hottest teams in baseball, okay? And you can go down the list. I know that Mason Miller's on the IL. It gets crazier and crazier. But there's something to be said about the A's right now, and it'd be very interesting to see how that works. But San Francisco losing last night was their first loss in the last 4 games. So this is one where I like Logan Webb, and I don't want to bet against the A's, so I'm going to stay away from this game. All right. But then the final game on the card. This is one where we're going to go a little contrarian. You guys might laugh at me, but this is probably my favorite bet of the night. Clayton Kershaw at Dylan Cease. Dodgers, Padres. Love what the Dodgers did on the trading. As always, year in and year out, they just start swiping that card, man. Printing money. That's where I like the Dodgers. Trade deadline winners, in my opinion. The Orioles. Okay, but when we talk about this even further, and actually the Padres, they really make the case now for having one of the best bullpens in baseball, going after some guys and some arms late in the some late in the game players. But within this game, Dylan Cease off of a no-hitter. Okay, boom. I'm going to leave it at that. This will be my best bet of the day, in my opinion. Clayton Kershaw got kind of rocked. Very short stint that he had first time out off of injury. Returning to action, going against Dylan Cease. I don't trust Dylan Cease on any given night as it is, and off of a no-hitter, that gives me even much more confidence in this play. So it's a little contrarian. I think that you're seeing a lower number. 7 is what I got over at BetMGM, minus 110. I think that you're seeing that kind of like, okay, Clayton Kershaw, Cy Young winner, World Series MVP, all these acts, like, this is a very big face value game, in my opinion, right? It's public names, fresh off the press, Dylan Cease, no hitter. So that's kind of how I feel about it. Dodgers lineup, always love the Dodgers in this spot. You can get involved with Dodgers team total. That's also another avenue, but I do think there is a chance that the Padres give you a much better value, taking them in blowout fashion. So look for the Padres to win in kind of a runaway, maybe against kind of like a 7-5 game. Is what I see this one at. You never know, but that's just how I view it. All right. So I think the number's wrong, so I'm going to bet it strongly. Take the over 7, Dodgers, Padres, minus 110, bet MGM. All right. And that's going to wrap it up. These are my best bets for the last day in July. Football season right around the corner. Like I said, if you guys want to become a channel member, we will have some exclusive content coming out before we kick off. I'll probably do something for today, and then I'll post it tomorrow before the Hall of Fame game. We'll have some better traffic with that. But these are my best bets. Make sure you guys all subscribe down below on the channel. Smash the like button if you haven't done so. Let me know your plays, and be sure to hop on over to the Discord. It's going to be getting pretty fired up when we talk football. I think that's where a lot of passionate people get involved, and it'll be a very, very fun time of the year. That's for certain. So I can smell it coming. But these are my best bets. Tampa, first 5 under. That's an early game, 4.5 on that total. Atlanta run line, very big number, plus 160, as well as Arizona, minus 2.5, alternate run line, half unit play, plus 190. And then we're going to be taking the Boston, Seattle, under 9.5. Favoring the first half under 5, but not going to lay that. Just giving you guys a different option, as well as the Dodgers over 7, minus 110. That will be my best bet and my favorite play of the day. So we'll see if that cashes. But appreciate you guys. See y'all tomorrow. Good luck with your picks.